Yeah, what's going on? What's goody? 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 We- what's going on with y'all as getting the last bits of everything plugged in and charged up and connected and all that good stuff. What y'all been on? What y'all finna get on? Mhm. I did have the session last night. I didn't stream or anything like that just because we didn't actually end up making anything new. We just ended up listening to a lot of different, just a lot of different songs. One thing that I've been trying to focus on is exposure therapy, for like lack of better words, in the sense of just like show me like everything you're listening to, or like what are some songs that you that really like resonate with you, or like just a lot of just different stuff. So like I had some of the homies pull up yesterday, and we just went like in a circle. It's like, all right, you play something, you play something, you play something. All right, cool. Break down everything you heard from this song. Why did you like it? Was it the vocals? Was it the beat? Was it the lyrics? Was it just the vibe? Was it the storytelling elements? Was it the thematic elements? Like everybody, like what's something that you pick apart from this? And like that whole process just really helps to align and get an idea, or at least for me, it helps get an idea of like, okay, now I understand why you like certain aspects of like different songs, or not even like different songs, but it's like we were talking about like collabing, it's like, okay, so now I have a better understanding of like why you want to focus on certain elements while we're collabing versus how I might want to focus on like certain elements while we're working versus why somebody else might want to focus on some other elements or vice versa. And it's just like, okay, it's cool. So I understand where you're pulling from or vice versa. Now, everybody else in the room can understand why I might gravitate or like certain aspects of something. So I think, like just overall, especially when you're talking about like I want to like collab with people, but I might not know what it is that I want to showcase or whatever. Like that's a good way of just getting like a good fundamental understanding of like what it is that you like versus dislike or stuff like that. Um, so I think it's pretty cool. It's something that I've been trying to do more of, and the last couple sessions that I've had, I've kind of been utilizing that as kind of like a starting off point of just like I know we're already gonna work. I know we've been working. Um, I want to try something new, you know. And I think people at first they are kind of like, "Wait, we're gonna do what?" Like it's not like it's nothing crazy, but it's kind of like, "Oh, I thought we were gonna like work," or "I want to do this." And then like once you start that process, um, or what's funny is it's just like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna play like this one song," and it's like, okay, you can play that one song, and then you start asking questions like, why do I like it? And it's like, oh, I like it because it sounds good. It's like, okay, yeah, but like, what about it sounds good? And then you get like, you break down like the simple question, like the simple answers. And it's like, oh, no, I like the vibe or whatever. And then you get like that one little side tangent, and you're like, oh, okay. So let's talk more about whatever that one random side note was. And then it's like, oh, light bulb moment. I get what we're doing now. Okay, cool. Let's go through a bunch of music. Or it's just like, I think I used the example before of how I had a random rock song. All the things she said influenced one of my songs that I made. And I'm just like, the only reason that I made this, or not the only reason, was like the pattern that they used in the guitars of that song, for whatever reason, literally stuck in my head. You don't know what you're listening to might come back around 8 months later. You know, yo, for whatever reason, I have this pattern stuck in my head. That could be the basis of a flow, of a bridge or a hook or whatever else that we're working on. And I think we got to a point where it's like, let's remind ourselves that this process isn't about trying to find what we might try to replicate or anything like that. It's like we're not doing this to replicate. We're doing this to get a better understanding of like training of like what pieces of music do we gravitate towards, so that way we know what we want to amplify or adjust or massage in the work that we're doing now. So I don't know. If you're ever in a situation where you're with an artist and you want to get like a good understanding of like where they're at, or if you yourself are just like wanting to just have like an experiment, just start listening to all the things that you like and ask yourself like, why do I like this? What about this do I like? What about this do I not like? You know what I'm saying? Just really basic questions, and then try to go like a layer deeper of like, okay, now what about this specific thing do I like or not like? If I was in the room, what would I improve? You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thinking. So that was pretty cool. I know on my list of things to do that I had not done is working on audio configurations here and stuff like that. Because I've been busy trying to figure the rest of a bunch of bullshit out. But, you know, that's just another thing to kind of get done, I guess. Trying to think what else. I think I mentioned before that I had an artist that I sent some stuff to hit me and said he wanted me to make an outro for a song. So I know I gotta work on that. And then I also know that I still gotta work on the sample pack, which is what I'm gonna try and do now. I already went through, checked the songs I'm gonna send. So I got 3 out of the 5. So I gotta write 2 more. So hopefully kind of get in a groove. We can write out 2 ideas and get that sent out today. That's the goals. I want to write 2 ideas and I want to send that pack out today. And then in doing that, what I kind of want to do is see if I can. I'm building the plane. I'm building the plane as I'm flying it. What I want to do is go through some of the other synths that I've used / built and save them, so that way I can build like better files, or like just be able to pull like my own, like, oh, yep, this is my stuff. Here's all the sounds that I've used, that I've made, and kind of configure them in Ableton or Serum or whatever program I'm using, and also save out the racks that I built, so that way I can just kind of easily go back and, oh, I need this. Here we go, drag and drop it. So that way I'm not having to constantly make new stuff all the time. Like just be able to have like a base of like here's sound, and kind of jump through there. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get in that. I know the priority is getting these two samples done. And then anything on top of that will kind of just how let it do its thing. And then yeah, we'll just kind of run from there. That's kind of vibes, kind of what I'm thinking for the time being. Um, right now I got a stream, Super GT stream running, so we're still in sim racing world. Um, and that just about covers everything that I could think of for right now. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and hop in Ableton to see what we can kind of build out. And then I'm also going to go through, I want to, this middle of the day, but I'll also come up to this. Yeah, that feels good. And now just do my light down, just a touch it a little right in here. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's make sure this guy is looking good. All right, cool. Let's see. I'm making actually two. What sucks is I went through and I checked to see if there was any more like old ideas that I wasn't really rocking with. And I couldn't really find anything that I was kind of like, this will do. I might try to do like another search in a minute if I can't write something relatively quick right now. But we'll see. We'll see. No, let me start with a. Actually, let me go over the tunes. All right, that's something. That sounds kind of cool. Okay, I kind of like that. Here's a perfect example of something I don't like though. I have the BPM, I have what it is, but I don't know what the key is, and that's kind of good. Load this one. like this, and then use on the other. Three. Here's my button now. Yeah. You know what's up? Yeah, I'll get that. Okay, so that'll be one piece. Yeah. That. So we got one. Dope. All right, cool. Now I got two chunks here that I can play with. All right, cool. So now I'm gonna do some. I don't know, like this as the goes the exposure. Stop it. Stop it. See. I want to do thinking. I like this idea. I'm not like doing that. I like so such. I like whatever this thing is though. Do like this. Okay, I'll take these two, and stick the name for there, and then let's just see. It's not the biggest thing. It's not. Um. Okay, let me try something else. Go back to me. Actually, let me use. Where are you hiding? There you are. What's the key? You see something? First of all, I like that. Original pattern that I'm like, and then I can duplicate this. You did see that, and then I like that. There's something there. I just don't know later too. What to do with it. What's this? Oh, you know what? Wait. Let's see how this sounds if I put this guy like this or something. Mhm. I like that. Actually, I think that's kind of good. Not correct. You know, honestly, I think I'm kind of good with just. Oh no, so what I need to do right that. See how it is. Yeah, hard. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I like the way this sounds. I'm not gonna lie. All right, and just like that, we got a 1. All right, cool. So 1 down, 1 more to go. Ugh, knocking it out like it's easy. All right, let me grab a water and start bouncing this up. Bouncing it out like it's easy. All right, cool. All right, should be right. Really quick, and then let's see what we can do with the next one. Hopefully, then whatever the next idea is doesn't take as long to come up with as this one. I feel like this one didn't take like too long, but at the same time, I want to try to be like as efficient as possible. It's a nice, deep sounding greasy bass. Not bad, I like that. That's not bad at all. Really. Solid. All right. All right, cool. That gives us one down for the day. One down, and then also go ahead and bounce this idea out. Ooh, ooh. See my it's great. Bounce rates. Swift one. Uh, and render this bad boy out, and I got see if we can do one more. I'm feeling pretty confident, so we'll find out. All right, cool. That's done. Set up a new project. I have no idea what the new project's gonna be. Um, if you have any ideas, throw me in the chat if you want. At least help me out because I literally have no idea what I'm about to do now. So yeah, if you have any ideas, throw them in, and we can try to maybe make something based off of that. Otherwise, let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Let's see. Sorry, more. See, the ones for height. We want to do something high, something more relaxed. I told you that one of my homies mentioned Bollywood a lot, so I know I got some Bollywood samples might be able to do something with. Not gonna lie, I kind of like that actually. That's kind of fire. Oh, that's kind of I like that too. Yeah, a little da 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 da. I like that. Mhm. No, what if I do something? What if I try something basic? Do some basic shit I know from you. No, I won't do that anymore. I want to do something. What can I do? Oh, no, I can play around with a high chord. Oh snap! Wait a minute. If I have the, ooh, let me try something actually. Let me actually try this. This actually might end up working today. Hold on. Can you? I wonder if I can throw this since I have. This is a right. Is an input? Yeah. So that if I then go into hey, all right. So, okay. I have no idea how much juice this guy actually has because I haven't charged it in a bit. The battery does die relatively quick. But okay, I brought this up before. This is a high chord. I shouldn't say I fell, but I definitely saw like the Instagram ad for it where homie was like basically like promoting it and like basically showing it off or whatever. And I was like, yo, that's actually pretty dope. And it's a chord synth. So if you like press one of the buttons, right? So essentially, every button is a chord. And you can go through and change the notes, change the key, change the sound, all that good stuff. Um, and it's just like I think it's like I think it's just like a cool music making gadget thing, whatever. Basically, it's just like I can just play on this rather than like being on my phone or trying. Cause I'm trying not to be on my phone as much, and doing a pretty bad job at it. But at least there are times where like this makes it easy, and because it's so small, um, I can like put it in my pocket, literally put it in my pocket or like in a bag or whatever, and I can already hear it's about to cut out. Damn, that sucks. But at least I know that. All right, that's a that is an option that is working now, which is dope. So I can actually incorporate that some more. And it's actually cool because um I played around. I used it before, and since I can run it through my computer, I can put the effects in my computer on through this. It's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Just like the one. This is my first and only pure Instagram play purchase. It works, but I'm glad. I'm glad I got it. Super dope. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the charger. Um, I might use it later. I'm actually really hyped that I got it on here to work. So I can incorporate this. So I actually do think it's pretty cool. And I'm all for like just like music technology in general. And I wanted to get into more physical synths, like physical hardware and stuff. And I thought this was like a pretty cool, easy way to kind of get into more hardware synths. Um, there's a couple that like actual like real pieces of hardware that I've been looking at um that I really want to get. I know the what is it the is it the Moog Sub 32? That feels right. That was the one that I really want to get because it is a bass like a bass synth and I like working with basses a lot. I felt like that would be a really good place to start. Um I can't remember which one my homie picked up not too long ago. But he recently got one like a actual hardware synth. I want to start getting more into them. Um, So yeah, you know, also I might run the Guitar Center when I like run out today. I might go over there and just see what they have. Um, but all right, oh, wait, let me see if I can. Is it gonna die while I'm not charging? I'm gonna use it till it dies. Fuck it. It's gonna go till it dies. I mean, not on the charger, but the only problem is like even though it's like connected to the charger, it don't really mean too much because it'll be connected to the charger and start using it and it will still die. Let's see what come up with like an idea or something. Let's do. I really need to like do this and like write down what the settings are so I can kind of replicate it. If I do have the bass on something. And I don't want to be in the key of C. I definitely want to be like, that feels good. D, D sharp. Maybe turn the reverb off. Turn the reverb off and then also turn the. All right, cool. What I want to do here is turn, and then let's put the waves. Try to turn the bass off. No, bass definitely gonna be on. And then let me, since we have this guy in here, let's go ahead and give him some effects. We'll do like we'll do a reverb. We'll turn the reverb on here. Mm. And then it died. Oh, right. Dang, that sucks. That sucks. Okay. But regardless, since it since it is charging, fine, whatever. We're definitely gonna use that later. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad I got that I'm glad that's actually that's dope. Okay. Sucks that it died, but um I have been using it quite a bit. I use it all the time actually. Just to like not even seriously like well, I mean I guess I could, but like the way I mostly use it is just to like play around and figure out what chords or sounds go together and just this little knob button here, or is that a button, but like a joystick. You can use it to change the what not key, what's it called? Like I guess like what mode you're in, so you can go from like a major to a minor, the seventh, sustain four, all that good stuff. So what that got charged. It sucks that as soon as I try to use it, uh battery's dead. But okay, let's see. I got four. I'm gonna try come up with something, and if I can't, then what we're gonna do is gonna send out the four because I just want to get that. I want to get that packet sent out like as soon as I can, so I can at least mark that complete, and also just finish it, and not get too bogged down. Like I have to get five ideas of. Um, shoot. Okay, let me think. Let's see. Let's see. Um, okay. Um, no, not. I'm not hearing anything that's getting me like, oh yeah, that would be cool. That's always a favorite. Right, this is easy. This was like what I didn't want to do. So I definitely used this pattern before. This is the pattern for BOP. Okay. Well, I used that pattern before. I okay. I'm not gonna worry about that. But what I will do, okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go with the four ideas I already made. But what I will do is I'm gonna show you like a synth breakdown. Since I made that, it's funny. I'm gonna show you a quick breakdown of the song that I actually used that on, and then I'm gonna show you kind of what the process behind that. All right, I think that's a happy middle ground. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because that is the pattern for pop. That's funny. Okay, let me find out where it is. It's not negative. It's over. No, I think it's here. It is. It's here. And then I also need to pull up the bounce of it since I don't have my drums in there. This we're gonna do. Here we go. This will be cool. All right, cool. All right, bet. All right, cool. So that pattern that I was just doing, right? I liked it. I thought it was cool. One, because that would be something that I would just default into, like when I'm like making like my actual stuff, like my actual sound, and I'm just like, oh yeah, now we're gonna make this thing. Um, I know like how I would make it or whatever. Um, the reason it's funny is because that pattern I kind of used it in this beat here, which was dope. I actually really liked it. Okay, so this is. Let me also turn it down. This is a track that I made. We recorded on this too. And I'll go through and we can do like a breakdown of like the actual synth section. The drums obviously won't be in the main project because they disappeared. Which is why we're gonna look at it from the whole, but we're just gonna do like a breakdown of like the actual synths, but I think it's more fun anyway. So this is the actual. Turn that up. Like this is some gas. I'm not gonna lie, it right here is like my. Like you can't tell me this not gas. And there's those squeals, like they're gonna be everywhere. Like, come on, you can't tell me that's not gas. And then it goes back into that break again. All right, so y'all get the idea. The two things. When I'm working with like a lot of that high energy, one thing that I was told early on, or like something that like somebody brought up to me, I was like, yo, this is good because it's a good balance, is making sure you have space where you have like all the energy and then you have like some like some break, like some micro breaks. So like even like in the structuring, like when you come back here and like building up to it. And all right, now we have like all the hype elements. So you know kind of like what to expect with it. And then you dead it so that way you have like some room to breathe. So like this would be like a big break section, right? Because it's like, it's still a lot of energy, but it still got like some mellower stuff. But then when it comes back in again, then it's like all the way over the top. But then it calms itself back down a little bit. So it's just like, all right, cool, you got room like to vibe a little bit, where it's just not like straight energy the whole time. It helps make it interesting. This movie helps make it interesting. And then people want to get back to like the hype sector. They're like, okay, this is cool. It's like, oh yeah, no, but like, where's that one section? And then you give it to them again, and they're like, yeah, there it is. Like this, it's like a lot of movement. Because this is the part you want to hang around the most. Or at least it's the part that I want to hang around the most. That's what it's like. That's like the most fun part for me with all like the craziness. And then you get another breath. All right, cool. So like that's kind of like the structure. Now let's jump into like the how and the why. So oh wait, are my drums here? Oh snap! I was about to say they're here. They're not here. That is all empty. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, so we can go through this. Synth section here. So I turned off the beat. All right, cool. So I always the reason like it has like I always start, that pattern is so strong, is I start with whatever that low end is gonna be doing. And I like to stack the since I use a lot of layers, everything has to be stacked up so that way it can be as big as possible. The thing about it is you got to make sure that you still have room for the actual like subs to come in. So you have your bass section. Right. And then you guys are like, so where's the rest of the and it is following that same program until you get to like the break. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where this section fully came from, but like it was something else before and I like reworked it a little bit. Actually, it might have came from this. What is this? What's this sound like? Yeah, I think this section below, like, yeah, because these two go together. So I think it started with this piece and then fed into this piece. So I started here, and then I got like those long, like those, they're not chords, like those sustain notes, and then I went back and reworked it into like, like plus sounds. We also go the same down here. Like I'm not gonna lie, I had so much fun writing this song. Because the key, like the trick that I like is to make it sound complex and simple at the same time. Because I want it to be a lot like vertically, but not so much like horizontally, if that makes sense. So like if you look at it together, because that is like that's the bass pattern. Yeah, that's what the whole crux of this revolves around. And it's a derivative of that bass pattern. So like up and down, it's like, yeah, there's a lot here because it's stacked. But then when you like look at it as it goes, it's very simple in design. And of course you got that, I gotta have that feedback in there. And we all have the layers. I wonder what do we have here? What's this one? All right, so we got a left, the right, and then obviously the center. So when we put it together, oh, that's funny. Okay, so I didn't even put this together. I feel like I might have wanted to put that in there. But you like that's a left, right, center because the bass is always going to be center. And I need space here. And then what's funny is you can see, so since I write out and I add notes everywhere, you can see like, okay, so like I thought we were gonna have a section for like live drums coming in here, and I wasn't even like figure out how to program it or like get the sound that I wanted. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna write it with the regular drums that we already have in here, and maybe we can swap them out. But by the time that everybody heard the beat, they're like, yeah, no, we're leaving it as it is. We're just gonna just record on this and just go. Oh man, what else is like in here? Well, like what? Yeah, it was, and then we have another, just more low end stuff. But like everything complements what's going on, so it don't have to be like there's no like clash in frequencies. And you get, and I like having these like little pauses between the like micro like little. Like just that enough of that little. It does so much in terms of like providing movement, and then having stuff go in and out. So now we're back in that small section or whatever, where you're just having like the low, and then you have the. And then I want to hear it in totality. Bro, like, this one of my favorite things. I wonder what okay, now what I always think is interesting though is like obviously you can see right how the core elements of like what ended up making the track, right? Like what I ended up keeping and building off of. What I like to do sometimes is see like what was the idea that didn't all right, why didn't this happen? Come on, brain now. What happened here? This has no sound in it because it's too low. Let me see something. I should do that. Interesting. So this one doesn't playing at all. I don't know why. Okay. What about this guy down here? Is that the same pattern? Okay, cool. So this is the same pattern. All right, so let's see what we thought we were gonna do. Okay. I kind of remember working on this, but this part where I thought I was gonna have like a almost like a what's the word I'm looking for? I thought I was gonna have like a riser almost to this section here. And I was just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. All right, cool. Cool. What else do we have here? What's going on here? All right, yeah. See, this is me starting to overproduce, where it's like, oh, I can try to add in another lead or some type of sound in here, in between like this space here, which I'm glad didn't work out because all you need is you have so much momentum here already, and you have your little flourishes. Like that's all you, because you want to have that empty space because you want the artist to know where they're gonna go, and you only need like a little bit of something to like keep it interesting. Because otherwise, then you would have had something. You would have had like something in between. So I was like, and that's just busy. Yeah. And then this. Yeah, see, starting to overdo it. Start trying to overdo it. And also like sometimes I'll try writing out ideas and it's like, okay, that's not connecting, or I'm not in love with whatever it is I'm doing, so I'm just gonna scrap it. Um, what else do we have in here? What's this guy? Would this fit? Yeah, I didn't like the way that sounded because it's only in these sections, and then obviously because it's stacked. Yeah, it wasn't loving that. What else we got here? What's this? It's in the beginning too. What's going on here? Okay, so I think what ended up happening up here is this might have been where that pattern originated in some form or fashion. And then once I got the initial like that line of pattern and movement, then I moved it to another channel where I could fine tune and actually make the real sound. And I know what it probably ended up like most likely happening was I used a sound, they came up with that pattern, put the pattern in another channel to like really like refine it, all that good stuff, and then went back and was like, I wonder if I could do something with it, and started going through and listening to different like sounds and presets or whatever, and was like, yeah, all right, cool, we're not gonna worry with that one too much more. Ooh, any other little? Okay, I feel it. All right, cool. That's what I didn't end up using, but yeah, no, this is probably. It is funny. I heard that when I started making that last track, I was like, okay, nah, we're cooked, we're good. Because now we're just making stuff I've already done before. And there's no way I'm beating. Now I'm not beating it, but like whatever that pattern was about to be was about to be a sad version of this, and this is like this hits on like all. Hold on a second. This max.
Is that true?
Like you can't tell me that don't. You can't tell me that don't smack. We always do it again. It's so like. And then there's your little break. And then you start, boom. And what's funny is I did it there and I didn't do it over here. Oh yeah, I did. Because it's cut out here. But it's not cut out down here. Interesting. Like, come on. right, cool. Next time we'll go through another one of my groupies, but for right now, yeah, no, we'll call it there. I gotta go through and send out this pack. I might get back on later. Um, we'll find out. But yeah, it'll be easy.